The countdown of stringness.
Ooh,
Are we live?
we are live.
We are live.
Well, all right.
We are live. Happy
Yes,
beautiful Monday.
yes. Welcome to Taboo Chronicles. I have the lovely Shanette, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself and her platform just a minute, just a little itty bit. But I'm excited to
Mhm.
have her with us again. I'm excited to be back
Very
this
excited.
new year. It's a wonderful new year, a great new
It
year,
is.
and we're ready to get started with some new things. We're gonna talk a little bit about goals, though. We're gonna wait. But anyway, welcome to Taboo Chronicles. So now, my lovely guest, I'm going.
Hello. Hello. Good night, everybody.
Hey,
It's my turn. I'm on the floor. I can introduce myself. Like, no. Good night, everybody. Happy, beautiful Monday. Happy winning Monday. I pray that, this day has been successful, right? My name is Shanette McNeil. I am 31 years old. I am a certified personal trainer and life coach. I'm also a youth mentor. I am a full-time mother of a 7-year-old who is also on the spectrum. Um, what else am I doing? A future author. Book is complete, just not published just yet. But I'm living and thriving, and I'm here.
woo! I tell you, I am so
I'm
excited to have you here. I am excited that
very
you said
excited.
thriving and not surviving. So that's a big difference, right? So you're
Big difference.
thriving, you're doing your thing, you have so many hats on. When you the last show you were on, I'm not gonna lie to you. Once you got off, our manager, she was like, "Oh, she do so many things. I just googled her." So just a
It's so funny because I just said to I was sitting here saying to myself, just like in complete gratitude before the live started, because I said to myself, like, today was every entrepreneur or mompreneur's dream kind of day. Like every goal, every task was met on time, picked up from school, ate, fed, bathed. She literally just walked herself in her room, put in bed. Like today was a winning day. I wore every hat and I wore it well. Period. Good food.
I
A good
love
day.
that. I love
A
that.
good day.
Yes. And I think, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. Today was also a good day for me. I accomplished so much too. So many things that
Yeah.
actually I put off, don't tell nobody, but I put off 5 or 6 years. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. And so, I've been talking to this lady.
Good.
And I came up with last year just a little tidbit. I
Mhm.
had, because life's right. And
Woo.
as we like to say on here, it's okay not to be okay.
Yep.
Last year, I had, especially at the end of the year, it
Hmm.
really went all the way down the hill for me, especially the last 3 weeks of December. My mom
Yeah.
was in the hospital, my nephew was in the hospital. My nephew succumbed to cancer. It
I'm
was
sorry to
yeah,
hear that.
yes, it was horrific. And so and I appreciate that. I really do.
Mm.
Um, but life was life, and it was life. If I tell you, it was life. But so through all of that, I was thinking, okay, I'm like you. I do so many things. I mentor.
Hmm.
I'm a therapist. uh I have a
Hmm.
full-time job. I don't know how I do it. um and I just took on life insurance.
Hmm.
I'm
Are
well,
you doing that now?
I just got my license.
Nice.
So, right. So last year I was, and I'm becoming a financial advisor, and this podcast, right? And guess what? And I love the podcast. Out of all of them, I love this more because it's more
Mm.
like a hobby. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
So
and I'll be quite honest. I have avoided because people always ask me like, "Why don't you do a podcast? Why don't you do a podcast?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to." But I have so much fun every time I come on here, and like I really truly enjoy it. I really do. I
yeah,
will say that.
yeah. So it's just like it's my outlet, but I realize it's like the underline of everything I do. So last year I was like, I honestly, when things went all the way down, I was like, you know what? I need a mentor.
Mm.
I need a mentor. And I just thought it. I really did. You know how you think something in the air and you're like,
Mhm.
maybe I
Yep.
was looking for a mentor. And
Nice.
lo and behold, I was looking for a house. This is how crazy the world is, or life is,
Mm.
or how wonderful it is, and amazing. I was looking for a house, and I had been calling around. Do you know anyone selling a house? Anyone?
Right.
I'm trying to buy a house, and my friend, she finally got tired of me, and she was like, one of my friends, she got tired of me. I know she was tired of me. She was like, well, I got a friend. She's a realtor. You can call her because I ain't got nothing else to do with it. So I was like, okay, let me. And so she started texting this. She shared just like Jackie just shared your number with me. And I
Right.
promise you, we linked right now. I'm feeling it. So anyway, I called her, and lo and behold, when I called her, it's like she poured into me so much. So not
Mm.
only am I gonna be buying this house, I'm gonna get my stuff together. I found the mentor.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
definitely good.
I did. So just a little quick shout out to Tamika White. She's
Nice.
a business mentor here in Dallas area. Awesome lady, also a realtor. And I'm gonna let me get her business up. I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to make sure I mention you. And I was such a mess. It's still such a mess. I know she really didn't understand really what I was saying, but I was like, I'm gonna try to help you some kind of way because
Right.
I know I'm a mess. Sometimes we know we are a mess, right?
Yeah. We find, yeah, no, sometimes we really need a
Everything
lot
just
of assistance. You know, you
right. So
say,
everything just works out. And so everything went together really well. And for those who are looking for that home ownership
Mhm.
that's here in the Dallas, well, anywhere really, she can get you connected. She's very connected. The company is GMW Financial Services, and exactly that, financial services. So she works on it all. Even if you had a little in with the law here and there back in the day, and or if you have some things with your credit that you say,
Mm.
well, you know what, or if you like in my case, I just have not did my things, my due diligence financially, because I've just been like, this is too heavy for me. I don't want to deal with it. And so my way of not dealing with it is like it's going to disappear. And of course it doesn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a bad way to look at it, but it don't disappear. But I'm just going
Yeah.
on piggyback on you and saying how awesome it was. I got on the line today with IRS. I got that complete. I'm like you. I got a lot of things done that I was like, it made me feel really excited. I got all my transcripts. I'm in it, y'all. I'm in this thing.
That's
So,
good. I
so
love that for you.
I do too. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is a new Roberta with the weight off of me and everything. I don't feel like I gotta, what am I gonna do about this? What if they find out this? But and another thing, I am working on a program, and it's a collaboration but it's couples and credit. And so what I'm going to be starting to do, I'm going to start doing lives, and I want to hear your story in your relationship with credit. I want to hear it. I want to hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you got any stories that you want to share with us, and you don't mind the world knowing, and also that could help someone, link up with me. I'm on Facebook, YouTube. Go and join my channel. That's where that live will be at. So we're gonna just have fun. I'm gonna try to get Miss Shanita Shanette to come in
Yeah.
with me. And I want her with me so we can talk about this thing. Because you know what, the big thing that's going on, and I know this is in the air, especially with this inauguration, with this president returning, that's a business president. I'm hearing a lot about becoming financial successful, and not only financial successful, but financial stability.
Not really.
Yeah, it's in the Air Force. It's in the air. I'm hearing it more and more and more. So I'm thinking we need to grab onto this. We need to grab
We
onto
do.
education, start getting our legacy together, because that's part of our legacy. You know, that's why I started selling insurance, because I don't want, it's always been so taboo that we talk about life insurance. You know, people
Yeah.
get scared. If you predicted when you want a life insurance policy, especially in our community, ain't nobody gonna die. You just want to bring that up. Why you want? We do that. Shanita, am I lying?
No, but the majority is us that has GoFundMe's and all these things begging after.
Right. And it gets stressful.
But we don't want to talk about life insurance.
That's right. So that's why
Mhm.
I started selling insurance. That's why I got it. That's why I wanted to know more, because
Mhm.
I want to be part of this education component, this financial education component that's teaching individuals, hey, let's get comfortable with this, because you don't even have to die to use your insurance. There's
Right. Yeah, I learned that there when we got ours, there's so much benefits and ways that you can utilize it even before you pass away or anybody pass away. So it's definitely a good investment,
right.
honestly.
True. You can use it as a place to borrow money. Say you have
Mhm.
a newborn, you can get insurance on that newborn, which is life insurance. But
Mhm.
going back to our taboo thought, oh, I don't want nothing to happen to little Julia. He just so precious. No. Listen, you are investing. You putting in an investment. By the time Junior's 18, Junior gonna need a car. Junior might go to college. But so
Mhm.
you can put so much compound interest into that whole life insurance product, you can start borrowing out of it to support Junior. Even if you want to do something with your own home, whatever you need to
Mhm.
do, you can use it as that. So this is
Mhm.
we're gonna talk more, because I'm learning, but I want that to be something that we are comfortable with talking about. We just are not.
Yeah.
So
I think it's the fear of actually speaking on death, and it's like it's actually inevitable.
right,
Excuse me. So
right.
once we get over that fear, then we can prepare ourselves, or we can get into that space where we are making sure that we're not leaving our families with this burden while trying to grieve.
Right.
So,
Because it's hard, even for as I'm coming back to work. Of course, it's still some things residually, in
mhm.
the balance of like, wow, so, and then finance, of course, so
Right.
that adds on to it. It's like salt on a wound, because now you got to worry about it all, when it could have been
Everything.
already wrote out, already
Yeah.
planned, and everybody just kick into space.
Yeah.
So just a little bit of tidbit of where my thoughts are right now, where I'm going this year. But
Good.
it is being financially educated, equipping yourself, and you always read about people saying, "Well, make your money work for you," right? and not being scared of it. And I think that's taboo too, because
Mm-hmm.
we like to I ain't talking about my money. I ain't finna get involved with that. Start making it not so much of a possession,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
but something that's gonna be moving you. You're moving it. Actually, you are in control of that. So that's it. Well,
Yep.
now, yesterday, go ahead.
I'm ready. Where we starting? Authentic lifestyle, right?
Yes.
Here we are. When you think about lifestyle and then you add authentic before it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that for many people, their authenticity is based on their environment, it's based on requirements, it's based on their status or title in society. It's based on all the things and expectations that they feel like they need to live up to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, there are many people in the world that is not living as their authentic self. They're living in the image that they've created or the image that their surroundings have created, right? And what
Yeah.
you find, yeah, and what you find is that some of these people will appear to have it all, but yet they're miserable, or yet they're empty and they're still seeking and searching for more. And everyone else on the outside is like, well, what are you looking for? Because you appear to have it all together. But the problem is everything they have done leading up to this point did not come from an authentic space, right? So, for example, we want to talk about purpose. When you decide what you want to do with your life, everyone gets that question at a certain point in time. What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be in the future, right? And the
Mm-hmm.
answer often changes, right? They're never the same, especially when you're a kid growing. It changes, right? But
Right.
most times, the realest answer comes from the kid because the kid is speaking from a space of freeness, of passion, of just an open mind, right? As an adult, when that question is asked, or like preteen going into adulthood, when that question begins to be asked, the answer is now based on expectations or money or status or what seems to be, the best option to fit into what society wants from you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then we now begin to conform to these titles and these roles.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to authenticity, my favorite question to ask is, who are you? Right. And I remember asking that at my all women's event that I had, right, that I had a few years ago. And that was the first question on the booklet, right? And everyone sat there stunned for like a few minutes. And I'm like, as simple and as short as that question is, as direct as that question is, nobody truly had the answer. And of course, there was no wrong or right answer, but no answer really described the person.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's answer was either based on their job description, them being a mother. No one remembered that they were someone before all of these titles, all of this responsibility, this job, the family, the spouse, all of that. And so we have to start with that. In order to cultivate and live an authentic lifestyle, you have to first find out who you are.
Yeah.
And then you have to seek knowledge and have wisdom to apply the knowledge from God of who you are and who you were created to be. Because all of our purpose is tied to a deeper meaning, which I would like to say faith, right? Our purpose here is greater than us. Our purpose here is for us to not only learn and evolve, but it's for us to help other people on their journey, right? I just did a live a few minutes ago and I said to the young lady, I said, it's so amazing how we walk around this world and we think that we're so much different than everyone else just based on the outer appearance. But then when you actually have a conversation, there's so much more in common with each other than there are differences. But because we're so wound up in this persona of who we are, who we can't talk to, when sometimes you really just want to be yourself, you really just want to have a authentic conversation with someone, but you have put yourself in this box, this mirror, or you have now chosen to think that, you have chosen to think that you're not worthy of this person's time or attention, right? Because most people are intimidated by the presence of another person. But
Yeah.
what you're seeing might not be who they truly are. But you will only know that when you open yourself up to think that me and this person are human beings. There's no big difference between you and I, except maybe our names, what we look like, what we have on. But our backstory might have a huge connection. For example, when me and Jackie met to do our live stream, I have never met Jackie in person ever, right? But through authentic conversation, we realized how much more our lives mirrored each other,
Yeah.
right? So you miss out on great connections. You miss out on just a fulfilling life when you are not operating as yourself. And there is no way for you to be blessed if you are pretending to be something else or someone else.
Right.
Energy is real. You can read into that. You go into a room, people know if this is who you are or not, because there's a sense of discomfort that comes in that act. It's like me, I hate heels. So when I have them heels on, everybody know I don't wear heels all the time because you can see in the way that I am walking. As much as I feel cute and I look really good and I'm strutting my stuff, well, I swear I'm strutting.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
person that is good at walking in heels can clearly tell I am no good at this.
And
And
then
in 5 minutes, I'm definitely taking them off. Definitely taking them off. And I'm not ashamed of that, right? And I think we live in a world where everybody's afraid to be their authentic self. Everyone's afraid to show their flaws. Everyone's afraid to admit that they mess up. Everyone's afraid to admit that they are not okay, right?
yeah.
And that could be for a lot of reasons. Social media, other people just pretending. We
Right.
are in a world where everyone's putting their best foot forward, which is not a bad thing. You fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Life could be knocking you all the way down, but you don't have to fake it to the extreme where you are no longer present or aware of who you're being and how you're showing up in the world.
Absolutely. Say that where
There's
you
a
feel
difference
where you
between
felt
showing up. Yeah,
right.
there's a big difference between showing up because you still have to, because you're committed. And there's a difference between pretending to be something that you are not. Because
Right.
after a while, it runs its course. It
Yeah.
runs its course.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's just like a relationship when people say they don't understand and the person changed. And it's like, no, they didn't necessarily change. They have always been this person. It's just that they are now tired of the extra layer that they have put on and the extra effort that they put in to deceive you.
Right. Right.
So then
Yeah.
you ask yourself, am I living in my authentic space? Who am
Yeah.
I? And that's
Yeah.
the question. Who am I?
Right.
Who
Yes.
am I?
Oh, that's a deep one. Now, okay, let me welcome because I haven't seen Jackie all New Year. So,
Hey, Jackie.
Happy New Year, Jackie. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you made it.
Yes, Happy New Year's.
And so thank you. I appreciate the connection with Shanette because she's a firecracker. So I'm so glad that you sent her our way as well. But we want to say welcome. And we're talking about being authentically you. You want to jump in or you want to say something to our audience? I'm sure they miss us. It's been a while.
I know it has definitely been a while. With everything going on in my life, like I mentioned, the last episode that we had, it just really has thrown me for a loop. And I really, really just had to rest. I just really had to rest and be still and do nothing. I think after many years of just being on the go and by being hyper speed all the time, having to do XYZ, being busy 24/7, 366 days a year. Um, I said, you know what, it's time to just be still for a moment. So that's what I did. I know for a lot of people, especially close friends, or just friends really that probably just met me, when I first started my new job, they're like, this is not you. I'm like, I know, but I need to be still. I can't be the go, go, go that I have been because
Right.
I'm tired and I just need to rest. And I'm not still, I'm going to crash and burn. And that's what I do
Right.
not need. So I just need to be still.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with resting. Sometimes we do have to retrieve, and
Mhm.
retreat and regroup, because I think that's what I was asking myself as well at the end of last year. Like, okay, with all those things going on with my family as well and me, I was like, okay, I need a mentor. I need somebody to I can't be the high one. I'm not the high one right now. I need someone
Mhm.
to pull it to me. And I think
Mhm.
that's the importance of having people in your life and come into your life with that high energy. Like Shanette said, that energy doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Like
That's it.
we do need to regroup, re-energize, and we need to retrieve sometime. And it's good to know that about ourselves. Um, and I think it's good to kind of tie it into being authentic. And,
Mhm.
and the reason why the balance is important, that's true. And the reason why I wanted to talk about being authentic is because so many people they get defensive because it can't be, they can't be authentic. And so they get defensive,
Mhm.
they get upset with people, because they feel like I have to defend who I am.
Mhm.
When really, if you're who you are, you don't have to defend it,
Yeah. Very
because it's
true.
Yeah.
not going to change. Roberta's not
Mhm.
really
Yep.
going to change. She's Roberta. This is her. This is her. This is what you're going to get.
What you
So,
see is what you get.
right,
Mhm.
right. So some people, they just feel like they got to be on the fence, so they can't even
Mhm.
get, or they can't have people feed into them
Yeah.
because they can't even accept it, because they're so on defense. They on a defense
Mhm.
mechanism, like, oh, I got to protect this image.
Mhm. It's all about the image, right? And
Right.
the image robs you. That image robs you of peace. That
Mm-hmm.
image robs you of um love, right? Not intimate love, but like even with friends, family, and people that really care about you. Because the more you feed into the image, you become a different person. And that
Mhm.
is no longer the person, which this I'm speaking from a personal experience from someone I grew with and loved. And, it kind of like put a pause in our relationship for a few years. And I said it, I remember saying it out loud. I said, the only way we will come back is when you have evolved from this space of wanting to live in this image of who you think you need to present yourself as. And, I'm so grateful that today and even over the weekend, I was able to celebrate her and even just hear her speak to her fiance about like our childhood and our connectivity and how much we meant to each other meant so much because I'm like, this is who I love and know that other person, I don't know what that was, but I'm so
Mhm.
happy she has found back that center and is truly being herself. And it's funny to see how her life is just like blossoming now that she is in this space of authentic pureness, right? And
Right.
it's important, especially I say our being parents are good trackers of authenticity as well. Like this morning, today has been such a great alignment leading up to this live. Today, I saw a friend of mine post that they were on a weight loss journey, but they said something that seemed like they were doing something fast and quick, right? So, of course, being me, because I'm horrible, I'm never going to support anything that I feel like is quick and fast. Never. So
Mm-hmm.
of course, I jumped in her DM and gave her like a 5 minute cuss out at like 5 in the morning. And her response, and she's just like, I just want to do it quick and I just want to do that. And I said to her, I'm going to say this to you. And you can take this with a grain of salt or you can take it with a whole spoon. I don't know. But ask yourself, what would you tell your child if your child had a vision for something and they told you that they wanted to take the fastest and quickest way possible? What would be your advice to that child? And if your advice is not going to be to support the child on that decision on how they want to go about it, then there's no way possible that you can find it in you to do it for yourself. Because here's the thing, you can now no longer turn to that child and say, you have to work hard. You have to work for everything. You have to push for this and you have to do that, because that becomes hypocritical. You cannot teach your child to do what you are not able to do. Your child will only watch you and the moves that you make. So if you show up as a person that cannot remain consistent, if you're an unreliable person, if you're a person with no goals and no motives and nothing, your child, some children are lucky to see that and decide for themselves that I don't want that. But then you have the kids where they will just become a product of their household. And what they have witnessed is what they will adapt to. And then it is unfair now for you as the mother or the father to keep saying, I want you to be better than me. Well, why didn't you give that child the tools to be better than you by leading by example? That's not authentic parenting. That's not an authentic lifestyle. If you are expecting more from this child than you are able to give them, you are not showing them this. You are not instilling these principles and morals into this child, but then you're expecting these things of them. And then we wonder why some of these kids are so stressed and their mental is messed up because they're living in an environment that doesn't promote what the expectations are. It's inauthentic.
Yes.
Ooh, Shanette, you almost took my because you know what? I didn't think about. I really didn't think about that, but that's the truth. If the little eye is looking at the big eye, the little eye most likely want to be like the big eye. So if that big eye can't navigate with being, has to be somebody else in front of everybody else, or is materialistic, or has wants to look like Beyonce, or whoever they're thinking this person, this persona is, then you really don't learn how to be authentic as even a child. That's kind of sad. That's kind of scary. Because going back to what you were saying, social media is dictating. I was watching, and I'm watching so many people doing this BBL. Some people are even putting their lives at stake just to do the same thing everybody else is doing. And I guess I'm kind of hard-headed, I think, because I think I am, and I'm kind of rogue. So I'm like, no, I can't do what everybody else do. So that's what like prompts me not to do it, really. I see a million people doing it. I'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that.
You and me both.
Yeah. So
you and me both.
People, they can see a million people doing it, and they'll go get right in that same, and they are, because with this BBL, with all of these different things people are. I even seen one girl that was saying how she wanted to have her face, her chin, so she could have high cheekbones. And I'm like, now you want to go and clip your whole face? What?
Yeah.
What is
we live in a time and a space where being authentic is not accepted. They celebrate these things because how can you tell me that you get all this work done to where you completely look like a different person, and you are going to tell me that you look in the mirror and you feel satisfied, you feel accomplished? And we're not even going to talk about the ones where the work wasn't done properly. So now, not only did you do something to yourself, you now have put yourself in a worse position than what you were in before. But now you have to walk around and pretend to be happy with the results of this thing. And they are so in denial that they won't even admit, I know I made a mistake. This was the wrong. I should have never done this. Instead, they promote it and they highlight it and they make everyone else believe like, this is a good thing. This is great. I'm enjoying it. But like deep down, how can you enjoy something that made you look worse than you looked before? Or you can just tell like, you're walking around and everyone's looking at you as a poster billboard of what happened. Like, what did you do? But no one's willing to ask you. And that's why I'm the first, when I see anybody I know to say that they're going to go under the knife or do all this other stuff and then come to me, I always tell them, oh, I'm not training you after that. Absolutely not. I will not be responsible for anything that was done not right and you're not satisfied with the results. And then now I have to deal with that. No. Come to me first. Let me help you.
Right.
But I cannot correct that.
I think that's a loaded deal because they say dying to be happy. I've seen that, it's some of the things when they're talking about it, but it's a loaded deal because to me, you may not, if you go to such an extreme, you may not ever be happy because you may not ever want to look at really yourself, so you may not ever want to face yourself. And because, Michael's son get the best, the man in the mirror. We got to look at ourselves and think, okay, what can I do to make me that better person? You know, and like I said, that is the most daunting for a lot of people. That's what brought it to my mind, you know, because I watch people struggle with it. You know, like I watch people, some people ask, like, so you like to wear makeup? Yeah, I do. I love it. I love playing makeup. I was a Mary Kay girl, so I play in makeup. Been playing in makeup forever. You know, or you wear that perfume. It's something I like. It's part of things I like. You don't have stuff you like about you. You have to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Some people are lost like that.
Yeah. You know, for me, I love to dress up. So it's actually something that my mom always said, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know where you're at, that you'll meet your boss or someone who may be a prospective investor. If you ever get a business, like you never know who you're going to bump into. So always dress to impress. So whenever I go to work, I like to dress up. For a while, I toned it down because people would make comments like, look at Jackie looking like a lawyer. Why you all dressed up like that? You going to a board meeting that we don't know about? And I'm like, well, no. First of all, I just like dressing up. Second of all, I do come from Dallas ISD, so that professionalism, the way you're supposed to dress and carry yourself for a school district is very different from a charter school. So we're a little bit more laxed here. So, you know, that just something that I come with in how I dress. And like most of my clothes is that, and I'm not going to go buy a lot more clothes just to tone it down when I'm just going to use what I have. And I love dressing up. So I actually started back dressing up. Usually it's it's Mondays and Fridays where I'll dress up. Tuesdays through Thursday I'll kind of just, you know, a little, because you're tired from, you know, the first day going back starting the week. So slowly I'll gradually get back to dressing up. Like Tuesday I'll tone it down a little bit, but that's just me just trying to get back, you know, the energy, because Mondays after the weekend starting work is hectic, especially in the school. But yeah, it just seems like the most crazy thing to a lot of people to dress up for work. And I'm like, I just do it for myself. I don't do it for no one else but for me. And at the end of the day, it is, you know, separating me from everyone else anyways. Already I have someone's attention, you know, the powers that be, maybe they're paying attention. So.
And you know, it's so crazy because there's a way to tie that back to being authentic with yourself. Because if you know what your goal is, right? I'm going in this place. I want to capture the minds, the attention of a certain group of people because this is what I want to do. You have to put yourself in the room to be seen, right? You have to, if it's a little changing the tweak in your voice, if it's changing a little step that you might have took this way, you're going to walk this way a little bit. And I have found, because I've experienced that, where people that know me personally, when I'm just playing around and just having a good time when I'm talking, and then when I would do events or if I'm doing a speaking engagement, I'm talking, it's just like, oh, you become a whole different person. I said, no, I become marketable. I become accessible to the avenue that I want to go in. I am not looking to cater to my friends that sit on my couch. I'm looking to expand here. So this is not me being inauthentic. I'm still being authentic. This is just a version of me that knows what I want and knows what my target audience is and what I'm aiming for. So I'm not trying to limit myself here. I want to go here. So therefore, if here requires me to push myself a little harder, to dress up a little bit more, like you said, I believe when you're going into different rooms, you need to be appropriate. You need to be appropriate and you need to stand out. You don't have to do anything that's not you. If you're uncomfortable, then that's another story. But if this is you and this is what you want to do and you're showing up as you, we're just looking really nice doing it. What's the problem, right? But people have a problem with that. And people do get intimidated by that.
Yes.
They don't know how to be authentic. And because me, I dress up, but I'm a weird dresser and I know it. Because it's certain things that catch my eye. So I'm a little weird dressing, but it's a little different. But that's me. That's my authentic self, and I'm okay with it. I don't have no problem with it at all. But I want to ask you this: if you are a woman, and I'm gonna say men too, because men have a problem with self-image and self-esteem and being authentic as well, because they have to pair up with Facebook, social media, Instagram,
Yep.
they gotta look the same way everybody else look, or whatever's in style. They have to be in there with it. And sadly
Yeah.
enough, I've even seen people go to jail or prison to try to get and keep them for real, get what everybody got. Because you like, for stealing jeans, you went to jail for stealing, yeah, you was that diligent. You had to have these jeans that bad because of thinking that's what's gonna make you.
Right.
It's crazy, but it's the truth. I mean,
It is the truth. Yeah, I see it all the time.
right, right. You like what you was taking all the jeans that was man.
Actually, a few weeks ago, it was like back October or something, maybe, I don't know, November. I was going to Foot Locker to return something, and a girl just runs out the store with all this stuff on her, and I'm like, what is she doing? I didn't even pay it any mind that she might have been stealing until I walked into the store. And then and just picked up a whole rack of things and just ran out. And then when they sent her picture to the other store location, she was in different stores throughout that day, just grabbing stuff and running. And I'm just like, wow.
She said, I'm finna be cute. I got some customers. They finna be cute. And it's worth my freedom. That's kind of sad. It really is.
It is that. People are materialistic. And people think that these things define them. Their happiness is attached to these things. They don't feel like they fit into any social club if they don't have these things. And that goes back to where their identity is based on their surroundings, right? And not many people have the ability to be who they are and be content with how different they are from other people, which, I thank God that was probably another one of my greatest flexes. I've never cared to fit in. I've never cared about what's the latest brand, the latest trend, the latest hairstyles. I've never cared. And I can't explain why I've never cared, but I've just never cared. Some things are just natural to some people. I've just never been the type that fancied any of these things, but I liked them on other people, and I would compliment other people, and it looks nice and it's great, but it's just not for me. And I knew that. And I didn't try to fit in with these groups. I had no issue with them. Me and everyone in high school were cool and cordial, but I just knew what my crowd was and what my crowd wasn't because of the things that they enjoyed. I didn't enjoy. But in school, we can get along, but outside of school, I didn't hang with them because I just knew that we had two different styles and tastes. But I didn't knock it. It's not for me. It's just not for me. I'm not going to go out of my way to look or act or dress like you.
Yeah, I'm not going to go.
Simple, easy girl.
I'm not going to do what it's called, run and grab, or what is it called? What they call it?
Yeah, I'm a simple girl, and I think even the day, God's will, when I become rich or if I become like a billionaire or something, I will still be the same simple girl because these things do not excite me. Excite me with nature and crazy stuff like that, like rivers and natures, which is one of the things I really truly appreciated about my husband. He never thought to buy me expensive gifts. He never, and it's not because he was just being unthoughtful. All of my gifts were the best gifts I ever received because he got me things that were tailored to me, like calendars with pictures for each month of different things, mugs. I love teacups, so mugs with like pictures engraved to where when you put the hot water in it, it just lights up and the pictures come on. Like those are the things I like. And it's amazing because when I would post those gifts, the people that love those expensive things would always be like, oh my God, where did you get that problem. I'm just like, you see, there's so much more in the simple things in life
Mhm.
than
Right.
the grand extravagance that you all chase and you don't realize. Like from a young age, even before I started driving, I thought it was crazy to me to see somebody at the bus stop with a Louis Vuitton bag that you paid over $1,000 for, and you're on the bus with this big empty bag. Why did you spend this much money on this bag to walk around with nothing in it? What is the purpose of this here? I'm not understanding. This
Well,
makes
they
no
said
sense to
they
me.
had to just get the bag. They just got the bag. Now
But
they
they
just
only want the bag because they're trying to fit in. But the person you're trying to fit in with probably owns their home or
mm,
has a vehicle that is
Mhm.
accessible to them. So you're competing with people where you're not in the same lane and you're making yourself ridiculous and broke
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
because you're
You know,
spending money that you could invest in getting a car so you don't have to be on the bus and
yeah.
get you home or something that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Nigga.
I've been misconceived as someone who likes materialistic things because I have some designer bags and some designer shoes, like Michael Kors. Like for me, I'm like, I feel like that's affordable to everyone. You can go to an outlet and you can get stuff at special
Exactly. It's
deals.
really not that
So I'm
expensive.
like, and so when someone had pointed it out to me, and then they saw me in just like, regular shoes or just, not using them. They're like, oh, where are your designer shoes at? I'm like, at home. I don't need to use them all the time. I'm like, I don't care to have to be using them or to have them. I'm like, the only reason I have them, I'm like, to be honest, I'm like, it's because I asked my dad asks me what I want for my birthday and
Hmm.
for Christmas, and I tell him the same thing: Michael Kors purse or Michael Kors shoes. I'm like, and he gets them for me. I'm like, I'm not even buying them for myself. I'm like, so that tells you right there that I'm not even interested in it like that. I am a very simple person. And one thing with my ex, I don't know, it had it in his head like, oh, I can't just give you a simple gift. I'm like, yes, you can. That's what I want. I'm like, if you would simply give me a card and chocolate for my birthday, I would be happy because
Hmm.
you thought about me and you thought about what I like. So my love
Yep.
language is think about what I like and food. You give me food, you take me
Food.
out to eat, you pay for my nails, we're good. Like I am satisfied with just that.
Give
And
me food.
if it's in the budget to be able to go travel, then let's go somewhere. And it doesn't need to be across the country. It can just be, to the next state for all we know.
Hmm.
I'm not a materialistic person. That's just me. And yeah, acts of service for me. I am definitely of acts of service and quality time and things like that. So yeah, people could definitely have this misconception about me. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, you should see me how I am at home when I'm nowhere. I'm not looking like homeless. I'm like, I'm like, you just don't,
And that's just people. People just like, for example, if I told somebody I've had a new car every day for every year for the last 5 years, right? Their statement would be, "Oh, you get money."
Right.
No, people been hitting my car, and my car been getting totaled. And
Oh,
I just have to, and this is me being authentic. People just been hitting my car less than a year each time. And I have been lucky, smart, because I always had gap insurance, but it definitely cost me to get into another car. So what are you getting money about that? And my note goes up every time. But see, that's the thing. I'm not the type, like I've never posted. Like if I was the type to like post all my cars, they would probably be like, "Oh yeah, she's dead." I've never. No one knows what kind of car I drive unless you see me personally, right? But
yeah.
again, that would be me being inauthentic to do that because that's not my style, and I would be pretending, which I know people that do that. I would be
Right.
pretending like I'm really getting money and changing cars every year. When no, 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 no.
Flexing,
My
you
car just keeps
flexing.
getting hit.
Mhm.
That is
And
funny.
matter of fact, my car just was hit last Friday.
My goodness, it's just the beginning of the
I'm
year.
so sorry
And
to
I
hear
just got
that.
and I just got it in June.
Oh,
So
wow.
Okay?
sorry.
And it was
Right.
total? Was it total?
No, this one wasn't. This
Good.
one was lucky.
It
Good.
just got hit. Just
This
got
one was like
hit.
she didn't get told.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. That's a tough one.
But it's just
Oh,
like I just have to laugh because people will think that, like, oh, you're getting money, and then you have people that will do that, like post every car, like, oh, I got a new car. No one knows what I drive unless you see me,
No, and
ever.
I think that's where I don't know if y'all touched on this, but like where you touched on it right now a little bit. Social media,
Hmm.
people are thinking like, oh, this influencer is showing all these things, and they have all these things, and for all you know, they are just in the store show trying on some shoes real quick or the clothes real quick. You do not know that. I'm like, unless they do a vlog that
Exactly.
you can see it came out their closet. I'm like, but then also they do get a lot of stuff for free. They get stuff sent to them. They're probably not even wasting their own money to get
right,
those
Right.
things.
right.
But they have
Exactly.
dedicated time and energy into being able to get those sponsorships and things like that.
Yep.
So I think as a person on the other side of the screen, you have to realize that some people are not being authentically themselves. Some people are
Themselves.
giving you what they think that you want to see. And for me, I've learned now, like, you know what, I'm not going to share every aspect of my life. Like, ain't no
Hmm.
one gonna, like in Spanish, es nadie va a saber, pero va a haber señales. No one's gonna know, but there will be signs. There will
Yep.
be signs, eventually you'll see something and you'll be like, what? When that
I need
happened?
to learn that one so I can tell people when they ask me.
But
Yeah.
that's my business. That's my business to choose what
Yeah.
I share with you. And it is
Exactly.
being authentic to yourself. Like you're not oversharing,
Exactly.
over giving, over committing as well. That
Yeah.
plays a part in it too. Because if you overgive, overcommit, then you are taking too much out of yourself. You're putting too much into something that you probably just doing it because again you think that's what
Yeah.
people want to see.
People
So
want.
right now I could say that a lot of people are probably like, what is Jackie doing? Where is she? What is she doing? Like, I don't see her posting in this. I'm like, because I don't have to. I'm choosing not to. I choose to post what I want to post. If you don't know what's going on in my life, I'm like, if apparently you're not touching base with me, you're not in communication with me,
Exactly.
so you're not gonna know what's going on unless you're contacting me. But
And that's the thing. Yep.
again, I'm doing nothing. I
Right.
Yeah.
am doing absolutely nothing but being at home. And when I tell you it is the best thing, just being still, because for, like I said, many, many years, I was always go, go, go. Never
Mhm.
really had the time to just stop and breathe. And now that I can, it's just like, I'm loving it. Like, I want
Mhm.
to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That is really a thing. That is a huge part of authentic lifestyle, right? Being mindful of how who you're being, especially on these social media platforms, how it affects or impacts other people. I think
Mhm.
that's a huge factor that a lot of people do not care to even be considerate about. Because yeah, you might have these things and you are sharing your life and your deal, but what about the people that are watching, right? There is
Exactly.
someone that cannot afford these things. There's someone that is struggling with certain things, and then you're just like gloating, because to a certain extent I find it to be very like gloating, right?
Yeah.
You're gloating all over the internet, and these people are watching this thing. You are now responsible for some of the depression that is taking
Yeah.
place on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even because you're being authentic. You're just being boastful in a sense. Or you just want everyone to know what's going on with you. And then the biggest irony, the funny part that cracks me up is the people that share everything. But then when things go bad, it's like, can you please respect our privacy at this time? And it's like, no, absolutely not. You have now given us access to every single part. We are now invested. Okay.
They also have
Yeah.
a button, and you have to be
No,
on.
no, no. I agree with that too. We also, people need to hold themselves accountable for how they allow people's display or their life to affect them, because you're an adult. There's no way you should be that invested in what someone else is doing through social media that you are now depressed and causing harm to yourself. Like, we have to hold ourselves accountable all across the board. That is a huge part of authentic lifestyle as well. Accountability. Yeah, this person is doing
Accountability.
too much, but it is my responsibility as a person to see this and not be consumed by it, to see it and not feel depleted or feel like I'm lacking something because this person is showing all these things that I might not have at this moment. It's a two-way street. Everyone has to look out for each other as well as how we're looking out for ourselves, because then their safety becomes into play. If you're sharing too much, you're also giving people access who might have mental issues, who might be a little obsessive or possessive, that cannot control themselves to even hold themselves accountable. And you're just like throwing it out there. You know, I saw someone arguing with this influencer, like, when are you going to show your baby? And she's like, listen, I don't have to show you my baby. I show little snippets if I feel like it, but I don't have to show you what my child looks like.
I mean,
It is
there's a lot of
I guess
influencers that don't even show their face.
they don't show their face at all. So I'm like, she's like, it's my job to protect my child. Yeah, I use the internet, but I'm aware that there are people on this internet that do not like me. There are people that are not stable. There are people that, you know, probably just want to do evil things. So I'm not going to give you the okay to know who my child is, that when you see my child in person, you can cause harm to them. And people are so upset with her for this, right? And it's just like, she's being authentic in her space of a mother to tell you, I wish not to share that part of my life with you. So you can either accept it or unfollow me.
Yeah. And being responsible, you know, being responsible. So before we get off of here, again, I want everybody, please go to my YouTube channel. Follow me. It's Part of the Tool Lady. I'm going to be starting to do some lives, and it's going to be couples and credit. And we're going to be talking to people who've had good, bad, ugly situations with couple and credit, right? So we're going to start talking about that, because that's another part of being responsible. But back to the topic, I like Shanette. She said earlier that you need to be, you have a purpose. I won't say a long time ago, probably about 12, 14, 15 years ago, that was really heavy on me. Glad I was like, you know, it was so heavy on me. Honestly, I opened a company that was purpose-driven counseling and consulting because I was like, you know, this is true, and it was based off of the purpose-driven book. And once I read it, I was like, you know what? We all have a blueprint, and so what happens when we're not living authentic? We neglect to go by that blueprint that God has already set up for us. And then even deeper than that, we forget that we can trust him with that blueprint, because it's the creation, you know, he created us. And so just to be thoughtful, mindful of that, you were created with a purpose. And so when you're trying to be like somebody else over here,
you're not going to find it.
That's right. And it's like putting a circle in a square. It's not going to fit. It's not going to fit. So just challenge yourself, and challenge yourself to rediscover yourself. Because I understand, you know, as Shanette said when she came on, I'm a mom, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a mentor. So basically she said, hey, I got so many hats, and so many, all of us women do, right? We're the anchor. So we have so many hats that we wear, but
so many.
Think about, hey, what about me? I say practice self-care. What would you ladies say to our audience?
I would say practice taking a stand for yourself.
Stand it up
in every aspect, all over. Relationship, business, parenthood. Take a stand for yourself. Be an advocate for yourself.
That's a good one.
How
about you, Jackie?
Honestly, I would have to agree. I think she, you know, Shanette, she said it. You just again, I think just be for you, you know, be an advocate for yourself, and just exactly what she said, honestly.
You have to unapologetically set the tone for how you want to be treated, for how you want to be seen, for how you want to be remembered, the legacy you want to create. You have to do these things authentically and unapologetically, with no apologies added behind that.
Right, right. And fall
Your
in
life.
love and love yourself. Fall in
Yeah.
love with yourself. You know, just like you
Oh
would
yeah.
fall in love with, that good looking guy or gal. Fall in love with yourself. Oh, girl, you look so
Mhm.
nice.
Don't fall
Mhm.
into. I know a lot of people fall into the. This is like the last thing I'll say. It's fall into the well, others expect me to be like this 24/7, so I need to be like this 24/7. Perfect example is someone that'll say, well, I'm always the one that, brings the energy, it brings the laughter. Like I always have to be that no matter what I'm going through. No, because
No.
you, as you said, should deplete yourself.
Mhm.
If
Yep.
those people or that person, if it's one person or two people
Mhm.
are not giving you that same energy, then why are you going to continue to give someone something that they don't give to you, and they don't care about giving it to you
Yeah.
either, and they will be
Yeah.
easy to throw you to the wolves
Yeah.
once you do one mistake.
Yep.
Yeah.
This the last thing I'll say to piggyback off what Jackie just said. You have a choice in life, in everything. You do not have to do anything. I do not like the statement when people say, I have to do this, I have to be that. No, you don't. You're choosing to be that. So with that choice, you decide if this is something that you need to be doing or want to do, or you're just doing it because you're trying to please everybody else except yourself. But you don't have to do it. There's no have to. Nothing in life requires you to do or be anything you don't want to do. It's a choice. Whether you choose it consciously or subconsciously, you chose it.
Oh, wow.
Failure is a choice. Success is a choice. Living is a choice. Existing is a choice. It's a
That's
choice,
right. I
right?
love it. I
Yes.
love that. Well, ladies, it looked like our time has come to an end. We had such a good time. Please join us the last week, the last Monday of this month. I don't know what date is that. Is it 28th? Is that what it is? Is that the last Monday?
Uh, is it? Let me get it going.
Was that right? Or was it
Monday, you said
The
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 27th?
26th. No, 27.
The
Yep,
27th.
27th.
Mhm.
So join us
27.
again on the 27th. We'll be right back here, 8 o'clock. We're gonna start talking about some dating since some couples is getting ready to fall in love. I'm gonna go ahead and open it up to Miss Shanette right now to come back so she can tell us how to go on the date because she said we don't know how to. So she finna lace us up and tell us how to get on these dates, honey. So come on back and talk to us. And I'm hoping she
Oh,
will
well. That's
my
the
invite.
27th, right?
It's the 27th, that Monday at 8 o'clock. Same time.
Yeah.
Channel. All right,
Yep.
love. See you later. Peace and
Have a good
love.
night.